πώς φτιάχνεται ένας ελβετικός σουγιάς. Εδώ είναι όλα τα εξαρτήματα.
I will start a new knife assembly demonstration. And here the rules are, I will present you how they are built up. I cannot give you the knife at the end, this is not allowed here, so but afterwards you know definitely a lot of these Swiss Army knives, how they are done. Normally you see them like on the walls, like in the stands, like these, but now really I have all here to produce a Spartan model, a 2-layer knife, a really famous one, and yeah, this I like to show you. On this original working place, which is in Ibach, Switzerland, we are producing all the knives, and we are producing 45,000 Swiss Army knives every day, so that you can think about a little bit a week we are 45,000, but 90% are done by machines. This knife, for example, we can produce in 60 seconds with an automatic machine, and the rest is done by hand, like this, completely outside. I got a foot pedal, mechanical, here I have to just to do that, keep it here, and this one to pull, that's all what we need. Alright, then first of all I will build up first basement with rivets. The material is brass, which we are using, and I just put them here to the machine. Then the bushings as well. And so now I have to lift them up, so we need a basement, and we got all here a basement with 3 rivets standing strong here, that we can add then the tools and all also the working tools and the springs. Good, and now I will add the first part of the knife body itself. It's a new aluminum divider, aluminum and a rivet. I put that on the other 3 ones, and I push down now all 4 rivets and the divider. So you have to imagine a knife, this is the front side always with the crossed shield. We are building up now, I did the front side without the scale, of course, just the knife body itself, to the back side. Alright, so, and then we have here first tool from the first layer. That means this spring. It's a really important thing about a layer. I just go in the middle with the spring. So. And then I use the first tool, can opener with a small screwdriver. I go in here on the left side, and then with a reamer and a punch in the middle here. On the right outside, a big screwdriver, cap lifter and wire stripper, and I keep it now on the spring. Good thing is everything has her own rivet, but they are wobbling around, so we need pressure on every single tool. For that, I push down with the foot pedal, I keep the pressure now, but there is a piece of steel which is coming, and then we push back now with this piece of steel, the spring, and then we are on the same level like the other ones. And this generates pressure to every single tool, same pressure. And that's the way we are producing our knives. It doesn't matter if it's a small one, a standard one, or a big one. We are creating always a basement, tools, and between a spring. That's the system. And then, first layer is done. I put in now the middle divider. And then the second spring. Just as we had now here, the first spring, it looks completely different like the second. As you can see here, completely different, a huge difference. That means every single layer has her own springs with the tools. You cannot mix up everything. It's really a standard here on this standard knife. Then I got the big knife, which I will go in with on the left outside. Then I will add a screwdriver, cord screw, and then a washer and a spacer. which I'm using here on the right. Why we are using this tool? Because the small knife is much smaller here than the big one. Then we would be it would be not straight, of course, if we not add the washer or spacer. So then for this tool, this is a special thing. Maybe someone knows it. What's the reason? A question for you. What's the reason about there is a bigger knife and there is a smaller knife? You got any ideas what that means? Because it could be another tool, it can be a file or something else, but it is a small knife.
The small one is for the bottle cover.
For the?
For the wine bottle cover, to cut it.
Yeah, of course, you can, yeah. But there is another idea behind. The other idea behind means we have here now a really old traditional layer. 1897 they produced at first a big knife, a reamer and a small one. That means we have two knives. Why? At this time, 1897, they used this, they called them eraser knives. Eraser knives, 10 small blades, and if they are not sharp anymore, they throw it away. So he thought, I do a stable one, a really stable blade, and then it can erase. That's the main idea behind this tool, to erase something. Also, fun fact is, the factory we talk about, if you talk about production, we talk about this tool is an eraser, not a small blade, for example. That's a huge history behind. Okay, small blade or eraser. Now I got down with the foot pedal again. I lift up and pull and make the pressure now on the second layer. So here we go. And then we have here now seen the second layer. Theoretically we can go ahead with the third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh layer, but I stop here with the second one and I put on the back side of the knife body. Now I add the bushings with, there is a small flange always and it has to be outside. Outside, also here up and here down. So now I take it out, the first part is done, knife body is here. We got the pressure on the knife, everything is fine, but now important the riveting, and I do that now on this place. The riveting, which I'm doing by hand, of course, in our factory is that done by machines as well. So, first of all, I keep it between my fingers really, because it could be that that pops away. Now we have to hear 4 clicks. Number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, now, the next step is we cut them to the right size. That means we have a rivet now for maximum 3 layers. We have done 2, so they are too long. I cut them just away. So, here we go. Then I got the right material. If you got too much material, then the heads, which I will create now, will be then rounded, and we have too much material afterwards for the scale assembly. So, and now I need glasses.
Don't we all?
Yeah, get out. Okay, brass, I told you, I got a hammer, really old style. Before, in the earlier times, also this machine is created by Victorinox in the early 30s, 1930s. Also really old, almost 100 years, the system, not the machine itself, but it's done by Victorinox. And they did, of course, also the riveting all by hand. But now I do that by hand traditionally with the hammer. Important, really important to go to the right point here. What happens if we go too strong, too deep, then you cannot open properly the tools. The opposite, it's wobbling around, the pose is absolutely not Victorinox style. So it has to be really on the right point. Okay? And the last one. So, okay. Now, I just want to know, is the knife already good? Do we have our quality points we need to have? First of all, but I put in oil. If you have knives at home, then oiling is always a good option. It's always a good option. You don't doing something wrong. Machine oil can be. This is our special Victorinox multi-tool oil. That means it's a synthetic oil, but you can cut fruits, stuff, it's absolutely without any problem. But you can use also a stitching machine oil or the knife. It's not a problem for the knife. Okay, and then I put in oil here. And to clean a knife, for example, if you got a knife at home and it runs not smooth anymore, so simple thing, a bit of salt at home, it works. Then clean it with a kind of toothbrush or an old one maybe. But then you can clean it and then a little bit oil and then a lot of work is done already again for a smooth running. Now, what you have to know about original Swiss Army knife from Victorinox, it's important to know that always on the blade here, there is written Victorinox Swiss made stainless. That's an important point to know, because I had yesterday someone here, they showed me the knife, hey, I got a Swiss Army knife, and then I had to tell him, no, it's not, because of course other producers, but he thought he has one, and then I was a little bit disappointed. So always, it doesn't matter about the size of the blade or the model, there is always a step. And then important is that it's not moving to the side, the tools. They have really to get stable between the dividers. That means we have high quality dividers built in. And then strong, really strong springs do that effect. They close by themselves. That's an important point. If you have to close the tool like that, then you have to think about, oh, there is something special, because the spring is not strong enough. Strong springs do that, and then you have here all the tools which are sound and click exactly like that. And this is a quality sign of a really good knife. So every single tool is moving really smooth and clear. And then I will add the scales. The scales are done as well by Victorinox in Switzerland. The whole knife is produced in Switzerland, or we are producing in Switzerland all the silver parts, as you can see, and this is a Swiss company which is delivering us with the brass rivets, and it's flexible here. So now the system what we are using is there is a flange outside which is now exactly here the same, a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger. On these 3 points I just lay it on the front side and the same on the back side. So all what I have to do now without glue or something is we just press them now together. There is no room between the knife and the scale, and then it's fine. So now it looks almost like a Swiss Army. So what we need to do is a toothpick, of course, on the back side, and a tweezer on the other side, on the front side. There is always, they are rounded, and you know every time where the right tool has to be. And then we have a keyring, the end. That's how they are made, or the system inside. So if you have any questions, let me know. I try to answer, and otherwise thank you for watching and listening, and
thank you very much
for your next Swiss Army knives.
Thank you.
Thank you.